12 for a run. No gain on this one, Willie.
Good situational football, though, because he stayed in bounds to let the clock tick down.
Exactly what you were talking about. So right now, Washington does have the lead 20-17. The clock winding down to the final seconds. I am stressed. They're about to kick a field goal. I could not be a kicker in this league. I mean,
that's all you do is kick.
Okay, but look at that. I cannot.
All right, you made it. It's good.
We're watching along, by the way, for all of you at home, for this game, and the field goal was good.
Just don't give up a 5-second bomb.
Yeah,
23-17 now, 17.
Washington drafted these guys on the defensive front. 5 first-rounders for a reason. Get after Ben.
Hopkins. Woo.
Are you going to go cover blitz, right? Cover zero?
Still 17 seconds left.
No, do right here. Because they got to go to the end zone. They
Be smart.
I mean, Washington is really about to pull this off, you guys. What we thought was impossible thus far, and certainly not from a Washington team against an undefeated Steelers.
And this is an emotional thing, too. You got Ron Rivera battling cancer, okay? It's been a real tough year for him personally. And then that guy right there, Alex Smith, that they just showed, you know, coming back from 17 surgeries on his leg. I mean, the whole world's rooting for the guy. This is an unbelievable upset. And it puts them 5-7, tied with the Giants. They don't win the tiebreaker, but it puts them right there.
And they lost their running back out early. He didn't even get to finish the football.
First series.
Steelers.
Huge.
Steelers looking like they are not going to be undefeated in the next 17 seconds or so, David Carr.
Hey, Alex Smith's played fantastic. We talked about Ben earlier in the game and getting the ball out of his hand. But just think about, like, when I watch Alex, I had a chance to play with him when I was out in San Francisco, and the way that he's adapted and been able to overcome and still play at the highest level, play quarterback at the highest level, is just brilliant. It's brilliant, and he's going to beat a team, you know, with 17 seconds left that's undefeated on the road, you know, in a situation where he doesn't have Andy Reid. He doesn't have some of the things that he had in San Francisco. And he still willed his way through it and rallied his team around him. Wasn't the quarterback coming into this thing. They didn't even give him a chance to even go out there and be able to move. It was almost like laughable. Can he still do it? I don't know. But now he's going to beat the Steelers. I mean, that's incredible. You know, comeback player of the year, I think it was wrapped up before. It's definitely wrapped up now. Hats off to my man. Alex did a fantastic
72 Miami Dolphins.
Thank you, 1972, perfect season.
Right?
I told y'all it wasn't going to happen.
Talking about
You weren't even around then, MJ.
It doesn't matter.
They're happy. They're celebrating. They're going to light up the cigars tonight.
Now, Coach, here's the thing that you got to pay attention to. It's week 13 now. Going into the end of the season, you want to be playing better football. You don't want to peak early or mid-season. You want to be peaking towards the end of the season so you know where you are as a football team, what you need to work on, what you need to do. The Pittsburgh Steelers are undefeated, but they're probably the ugliest undefeated team that you've seen in a long time. They're not playing good football. It's okay to win close games, and it builds character and all those different things, but Mike Tomlin talked about it last week. He didn't like the way this team was playing. He didn't like the way that they were adjusting. He didn't like a lot of things that they were doing. You can't go into the playoffs playing like this. You'll be one and done, especially if you don't have the bye. You'll be one and done. So they need to work on it and figure it out and bounce back. Use this game as a lesson. Okay, and bounce back.
Listen, that is the final. 23-17. Washington wins. Here's the final play of that game. I mean, they're trying it down to the last efforts, but nope. It is just an incredible win here by the Washington football team to take down the undefeated Steelers. But like you said, like it was almost like the writing was on the wall in terms of how the Steelers had been playing leading up to the team. The offense not clicking the way we had seen it earlier in the season where they were putting up 30-some points on every team. It's been in the teens the last couple of weeks. So the final score there, Washington 23. They defeat the Steelers. Woo!
Research just tells us now that loss, it's an NFC loss. So they're, you know, 11-1 with an NFC loss versus Kansas City's AFC loss. The Raiders, right? So right now, the Steelers still have the #1 seed, huh?
Yeah, and they still, it's not a cakewalk the end of the season.
Hey, we have
they still got
4 more games.
Schedule,
right. We still have a schedule
like
left.
I said,
we still have
bounce
a lot
back.
of teams.
You're still in control of your destiny.
All right, no, totally. I mean, if you come this far and you've been undefeated, of course you are. But let's take a look at the playoff picture here as it looks. I want you guys to chime in on what this means in the AFC. Of course now, I mean, as you said, KC probably cheersing tonight as they sing that they, and here's the NFC picture as well, because of course Washington now very much still, and I mean, as we've said right in that NFC East one, Mooch, this is just one of those seasons where it is just unpredictable at every turn.
Yeah, that NFC East is
you don't
crazy.
know what to say.
But you know what? We've been just on those guys the whole time, all right? Like the worst division ever in the history of the world. But you know what? That division came up with some huge wins this week, right? New York Giants going into Seattle and winning,
absolutely.
right? Washington going into Pittsburgh and winning. All of a sudden, they're getting better. And that's what you want. You want bad teams to improve through the years. They are.
Yeah, they are getting better.
Absolutely. All right, coming right off of this NFL Total Access show, you can watch a replay of that entire game, see how exactly it went down. And please come back on here after Monday Night Football. We'll have an NFL Total Access post-game show. So for William McGinnis, Steve Mariucci, David Carr, and everyone behind the scenes here, I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. Make sure to stick around for NFL Total Access, the post-game show. Enjoy this replay of Washington Steelers.